All right. So some people are going to think I'm crazy. It's 10 degrees out here. So today I'm mic'd up. I'm going to try and get this wood splitter started. It's only 10 degrees out, so it's going to be hard. We'll see if we can't get some more wood split. The first goal is to start this thing. If it starts, great. If it don't, then we'll go do something else. And it is cold today. 10 degrees. Said that like 3 times. So I'm definitely going to need starting fluid. I'll grab this other stuff if I get it started. If I do get it started, this will be the coldest temperature that I ever did. So let's find out. Should have plenty of gas. I'm not going to do a lot. Being careful, I don't want to drop anything in the snow. First, I'm going to try and do this through the air cleaner. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's stiff. I'm going to say probably not going to get this thing going. I'd be surprised if I do. All this hydraulic fluid is going to be really thick. Ooh, it wants to go. A little persuasion. Oh. Cold air right there. Camera ain't gonna fall. Damn it. So I got the choke off at the moment. Partial choke. gonna lie, it wasn't easy. When that oil in the engine is stiff like that, it's got to warm up a little. So we're going to leave this sucker warm up for a little while, a little longer than we usually do. Hopefully we don't have a failure today. Let's get this trailer leveled off. Already my fingers are freezing. Let's get some gloves on here. My panel is froze, got ice on it. Hopefully that melts off during the day. It's still nice to have that panel on there charging everything. Coffee. Now that I'm moving around, I'm actually too hot. All right, let's get that log lift loaded up. So this also ain't the best time to be running stuff because your seals could be frozen, you know, they could tear, things like that. Everything is slippery. When you get the snow on the beam, it'll slide. I'll try and get some done. It's a nice day, except for being so cold. So definitely a day like today, you want to let everything warm up. Get all the oils warmed up. Hopefully I don't lose any footage being so cold. All right, let's see how this sucker operates. If it'll stay running. So this is going to be a good test with the microphone. See what happens. Also with this cold and the ice could cause the wood to like pop. I did forget my glasses inside. I have a pair over here. Yeah, everything is stiff. Good kindling. So dealing with all the extra equipment, it's actually a pain in the ass. Filming adds so much time to the job. So you notice I always try and turn the knots up high. They tend to split better doing that. You're gonna hear some sniffling. Sorry about that. One of these days, I'm going to make a modification to this. I'm going to extend the steel, I think, off of the lift side. I'm not sure yet. But it's to keep the logs from falling in between. Happens sometimes. So this is a hard piece of wood. I'm not sure what this is. My cousin is an arborist, so whenever I have a wood issue, I talk to him. He knows everything about wood, tree bark, species, disease, bugs. Slippery, that log slid right off. So you got to be very careful. It's actually kind of hard to hold it in place here too. It's also a little tough to move around with all these clothes on. Extra jacket. So we did some stacking yesterday, which you've seen the video already. By the time this one comes out, alright, so here's some branch. We put these vertical straight up and they split better. And also, if the branches are like this, flip it so they're down this way. It'll split better. So you can also see the fox tracks all over the yard right here. He was working double time last night. Good kindling. Good kindling. Already see my wife shaking her head at me being out here. I was also at the chiropractor. Thumb up, Dr. Mike. Yesterday, which I'm feeling fantastic today. The muscles in my legs feel strong. I've been fighting with a little pain in my joints. Oh shit, there goes a log. Get that after. So that's exactly why I want to add a piece of steel here. This one might slip off. So this one has multiple branches, so let's just see what happens. Most of the time it's one or two. That's going okay. But learn to read the wood, because you get to know your equipment and your the wood, the way the branches are. Then you know when to treat a piece with a little more respect. I should spin this one around. I'm not gonna. See what happens. Some of the harder ones, I would definitely spin around. And I'm talking mainly to newbies out there who haven't split wood but are thinking about getting into it. You seasoned guys, you know what you're doing. Alright, let's get some more wood here. Sorry about the heavy breathing too. The microphone picks up everything. Probably sounds like I'm having a heart attack. Oh, these are still frozen together. There we go. So this, I'll show you in a second. Two of the best tools. This is one of them. There's a name for this. Forgot off the tip of my head. It's basically a pick, but I use it to not only free the wood when it's frozen together or bang it off the wedge, but I also use it as a pick. Pull the wood towards me or to drag it onto the machine here. And then this here is also a back saver for me. I know it don't look like much, but for me, I'm not flexible. So, and having the old injury, that last like 5-6 inches of bending over, no diddy, this saves my back. You just drop this over the sides and pull straight up. This is, for me, a game changer. And it was inexpensive. Amazon. Probably just do this rack and that's it, because otherwise I'll have to strip down and change my layers because I'm already sweating a little bit. Some of this wood gets a little stringy. I don't know if this is, I don't know if that's a chestnut or something, I'm not even sure. My cousin would probably yell at me for even saying that. But this is all a variety of wood. Another thing I want to point out while we're doing this, I see a lot of guys have injuries because they're not taking the time to keep their hand away from here and here. You'll notice I never put my hands in between these logs, ever. I'm always away from it because you get distracted. You know, you look up for a second and bam, you catch yourself. Not that I want to jinx myself, but I've never had an injury other than a log falling on my foot once in a while. So you'll see me do this. So you notice I'm clear, and I just put my hand on this log. Now I stop, and all I'm doing is making sure these things don't fall down. Especially, I don't want them to hit the camera too, but the less I have to pick wood up off the ground, the better my back is. So, alright, this got like 3 branches. So this one might be fun. See how it slid down? But notice I stop everything before I manipulate the log. Sometimes I put my arm like that just so nothing shoots back up. But I don't know how it looks on camera, but I am very clear of these moving parts. So for you new guys out there, don't get complacent with this stuff. This machine could kill you. I've lifted up logs with that log lift 50 inchers that would actually flip the machine. So don't get complacent. So this is a good one. You'll be able to see where the, like I'm ripping through these branches right now. So it didn't split very well. So this is kind of what I call an unsplittable. See that? It's still a good burning log. It'll still be fine. I call it an unsplittable and unstackable. But you can see the way that came apart. And that's because it's got several veins in there. So again, see that? Now another thing too, you see how this is split open. When this is still on the machine, don't get your fingers in there, because this thing can move just right and it'll clamp down on your hands like crazy. So all I'm going to try and do is split that little piece off. I'm clear. I'm going to let it do what it's doing there. Let the machine do the work. This, see that? That's a mess. It's fine. It'll still burn. So I got a big knot right here. So, and right here. You see how it splits down the middle of that. But this is if this was a 30-inch round, this thing would be a pain. And I've done them. This is probably the nicest stack of wood that I've got in years. So I'm just going to try and tear this apart. See that? This is the unfun part about splitting wood. But if you want to split wood, do some man stuff, take the good with the bad. That'll burn like crazy. So when you get wood for free, and mind you, we've been doing wood for my whole life. I'm 54. My dad was doing it. So we've never paid a dime for wood, ever. When I was a kid, my dad used to work in the cemetery. And there was always a tree falling. Storms, whatever. Storm damage. Nobody ever wanted the wood. He would always take it. And since the cemetery was right down the street, he'd be able to come home with that dump truck and just dump it in the backyard. And then us kids, shit, in some instances we were only like 8 years old, even younger. We'd be right in this spot right here. We used to have a big tree right here. And we'd be splitting that stuff by hand with sledge and wedge, mauls, and small axes. Always wanted to be helping doing wood. It's not like these kids these days. I mean, my kids are a little bit of an exception, but even them, they would. Everybody's so enticed with these electronics these days. Not here, small one here. There's another one on the side here. Weird. Probably broken off when it was young. But they're so caught up with these devices. It's crazy. They're hypnotized. You can't get them away from them. I mean, my kids, we brought them up to where if I walk in the house and I said, go clean your room, and they were on those games or whatever, they would just stop what they're doing and do what I told them. Never had to tell them twice. Same with helping their mother, or cutting the grass, do something, unload the dishwasher. So it got to a point where I just got a whiteboard and I put it on my refrigerator, and I would list out all their duties, chores that they needed to do. Because we also had a little saying, animals before electronics. So they would never give me a reason to discipline them, because they would always get their chores done. Like, they used to have to go out and water the animals and check for eggs before school and everything, which was great, you know. My older boy, he would a couple times he caught a bunch of snakes first thing in the morning, brought them in the house to show my wife. And this is like a kindergarten era. So you see, I'm very clear when these moving parts start going. I only hold that to guide it, let go, and if I'm going to reach over, I reach over. There's no way my hand is going to get injured here. And most of that is just because I don't want these to fall. See that? Alright, so I think that's all I'm going to do. I'll make a short video out of this. So we're just going to idle this down for a minute or two. While that's doing that, I'm going to put these back in the shed and my headphones. So this is actually nice working now. So to reiterate, days like today, metal, wood, and snow is a slippery combination. It only takes a fraction of a second to get injured. This equipment is powerful. It could kill you. It can dismember you. Something as simple as that log hitting me in the foot the other day and a couple of videos ago. I mean, that could fracture your foot if you're not careful, you know. But always remember safety first. You know, granted, I didn't have my eye protection on today, but I'm very careful. I've not saying that I can't get injured. I could, but at all. I mean, I can get injured just like anybody else. But it was a good thing for you to see cold starting these things. It's not easy when it's 10 degrees out. You got to remember, those oils, everything gets so thick, the viscosity is so thick that it's hard to turn it over. That's where an electric start would be better. The problem with an electric start is now you have another piece of equipment with a battery that you have to maintain. So when it comes to splitting, I don't necessarily want a battery, because now, like I mentioned in the past videos, when this pile is done, I don't know when I'm going to get more wood, because we're burning a combination of bricks and wood. So I even mentioned, I talked about that wood in that shed. Yeah, I might as well stay over here. I talked about the wood in that shed. I'm tempted to not even burn that next year. Granted, depending on what goes on, there is a chance that we may be selling both of these properties and getting out of here. And if that's the case, I either leave that wood behind or I take it to our new location. If we're too far away, I sell it or give it away to my friends. You know, it's not going to go to waste. So both of our houses here have wood stoves in them. So we're always ready for power outages, long-term issues, stuff like that. But again, I hope this microphone is working good. I can't stress enough, safety first. Granted, yeah, I know people bang me up about the eyeglasses, but it is what it is. I did it without, didn't get hurt. Doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. But for you new guys that aren't familiar with this stuff and the equipment and you're just getting started, I would don up the at least glasses and hearing protection. I have a certain amount of hearing loss already just from doing this kind of stuff, working in shops and, you know, auto shops and things all these years. You know, my knees are banged up, my hip hurts from kneeling on concrete, walking on concrete, tackling inmates on concrete, all that crap, fighting with them dudes. It's unforgiving. Protect your body. You want to be able to do this stuff for a long, long time, you know. But let me just reiterate one thing. Splitting the wood, having this expensive splitter and trailer and all that, it's not that it's saving me money. Over time, yeah, it saves you money. But in the immediate future, like first several years, it's more of if something were to happen, yeah, it'd be cheaper for me to go burn bricks. Just go buy them, stack them, burn them, right? But those have to be stored indoors. I can't store this amount of wood indoors. So there's pros and cons to both. That's why I do both. But if a major catastrophe happened, and we're always on the cusp of something major in this country, especially with the last administration, how they dealt with everything. But I can at any time pick up wood on the side of the road, bring it home and split it. I'm actually in the process of making an attachment for my trailer that'll actually lift the wood right into the trailer, so I don't have to use a tractor or lift it by hand. So, but that's it. A little quick video for you. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit it now. This is a great time to subscribe. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. This is just a regular family. I don't stage things for you to see. I'm not fake with it. You know, I'm up front. I have accountability for what I do. So, you know, if you want to watch some of these guys that make videos, they're like movies, go to their channel. But this is a real family. This is real life. That wood is going to be burned. It's going to be stacked, burned, seasoned. This is how I put away my machine. And it's another thing. You only need a board to cover the engine. You know, I got a board big enough that covers the levers and the piston and all that, but as long as you're covering the engine, you're pretty good. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Well, I forgot to show you how much we just did. And what did I do? Three lifts worth. So it didn't take long, and I was talking and working slow. But I could fill this trailer in an hour, so maybe even less.